Welcome to the Elite Podcast, where we discuss business, family, and life. Now, welcome to your hosts, Mr. H. Rod himself, Henry Rodriguez, and Ryan Arditi, the SCV MVP.
All right, podcast world, it's your favorite insurance guy, Henry Rodriguez, and I'm here with my co-host,
Ryan Arditi, the SCV MVP.
and we're here with Elite Podcast, episode 6. Diddy, we're on our way, baby.
Can't believe it.
What's
6?
going on? Number 6.
I still remember
Number
episode
like
1.
Jordan, dude. We're like
Yeah,
6.
that's true.
Let's go. Diddy, let's start with some real estate tips, man. I mean, it's still a crazy market, huh?
Still a crazy market. You know, I always say understand the market.
Yep.
Right? It's always changing. You need to understand the dynamics of what's going on. Hire a reputable agent.
Okay.
Right? I think you got to work with the agent with boots on the ground. And if you are a seller, you got to price your
You
home
said
correctly.
reputable agent, so you just crossed your name off or what?
Wow. Hold on. I got
fired.
I got
Shots
good
fired.
reviews, man.
You got
A good agent.
You do have good reviews, Diddy. I will give you that, man.
But basically just understand the market. It's changing every single day.
Yep.
And align yourself with an agent with boots on the ground who really is in tune with what's going on.
Okay.
Right.
No, hey, that's great advice, man. From a professional. Somewhat.
A reputable professional.
Let's talk about some of the upcoming events in our community. The one that I'm super
Yeah.
duper excited
You've
about.
been pumping this up for a while.
Let's go. Right here. Dodger Day.
Boom.
Sponsored by your main guy.
Hey.
Your favorite insurance guy, Henry Rodriguez.
H-Rod.
June 17th against the Giants.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna smash.
I am surprised.
One team, there's 2 teams I despise. The Raiders and the Giants. The Padres are creeping up. Voice, what you think? Are the Padres creeping up?
Dude, I can't stand
Yes.
the Padres.
I don't know who I can't stand more, the Padres or the Giants, but historically it's always been the Giants. But the Giants, are they even relevant anymore?
They're just crybabies.
They are. So
I'm surprised the Dodgers are doing great.
Yeah.
Right?
I
And the
for-
Padres aren't, right? They're not doing too good, right?
Not as well as they.
For the money that the Padres
Yeah.
have spent
Yeah.
versus what we have, we're just making cap space for Ohtani, baby. Next year.
That's gonna be
Actually,
like-
it might be this year and next year.
600 million, you think?
Let's pay the man whatever. You're getting 2 players. You're getting a twofer.
Who's getting the first $1 billion contract? That's what I want to know.
It may be Ohtani.
Yeah, he's probably worth it.
Stud pitcher, stud hitter,
Yeah.
voice, twofer with Ohtani. Should the Dodgers go for Ohtani?
Ugh.
Oh, voice. We're normally on the same page.
I know, but
But-
the
Hall of
Angels
Fame
like
pitcher.
bleed over into the Dodgers. I don't like. I
No?
don't like that. I don't know. I'm not.
So you're an Angel hater?
No, I just don't want our paths to cross. I keep it clean.
Okay.
Keep it clean.
I gotcha.
Maybe Trout.
We'll take Trout all day long,
Yeah, I was
right?
about to say.
Trout all
Okay.
day long.
All right.
But I love me so Ohtani. I would
Okay.
love him to
Yeah.
be wearing the Dodger blue. Baby, let's
He would look
go.
good. He would look good.
All right,
I'd be
He's gonna
excited
be in
about that.
pinstripes, man.
That
Don't
could
say
happen.
that. That is my AL team, the Yankees,
Dude,
but
I know.
don't say that.
But I'm just-
Bring the good vibes to LA.
How
okay?
convenient to be a Yankee fan.
Oh,
Come on,
right?
man.
Yeah. All right, so Santa Cruz Dodger Day. I am thrilled to be the title sponsor. Another event that I'm excited about is the Santa Cruz Cinemas in the Park. So they are showcasing kind of our like childhood movies, and they're doing it all over the city and all of our different parks.
What? So how does that work? It's like at Heritage Park, Central
At
Park.
all the parks.
So they're gonna have movies at every single park.
Yeah, so
Oh,
for
wow.
example, they're doing The Little Rascals at Newhall Park. They're doing Puss in Boots at Bridgeport Park. They're bringing Back to the Future at Central Park. They're doing Top Gun, one of my favorite movies
New
now.
one or the OG?
The new one,
Okay.
the Maverick, which is dope. It's
pretty good,
right?
yeah.
At Canyon Country Community Center, and then they're gonna wrap it up with Hocus Pocus at the center.
Is this all the same day?
No. Different
Throughout-
days
okay,
throughout
kinda.
the summer.
Okay, kind of like
Si-
concert at the park.
Exactly.
Movies at the
yeah.
park.
So,
Really?
if you're looking for some family fun throughout the summer, check out the city's website, Cinemas at the Park. Again, sponsored by your favorite insurance guy, Henry Rodriguez. But man, you know what? I'm excited about our guest.
I'm excited too.
Episode 6, we're bringing some heat.
Rumor is he is the strongest guy in Santa Cruz. Is
That's
it
not a
true?
rumor.
Is it
That
true?
is not a
Is it
rumor.
true? All right.
All right. Without further ado, drum roll, please. Mr. Antonio Alletto, welcome to Elite Podcast, episode 6. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
Why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about yourself and your upbringing?
Yeah, so I grew up in New York. I moved here when I was 15. I went to Valencia High School, married with 2 kids, 2 beautiful boys. Yeah, own 2 businesses, operate 2 businesses.
2 businesses.
Yeah,
Is that the New Yorker in you?
a little bit actually. You know, that's a big thing, dude. That New York hustle, it exists, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
agree.
If you live in the city, you need 3 jobs just to get by.
I love Manhattan, but you could small doses.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be dying on the sidewalk and people just walk and
Yeah.
I gotta get to my next meeting and they walk right over you. Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Man.
I just went to New York. I haven't walked that much in my life.
Yeah.
I literally
you walk
from
everywhere.
everywhere. I walked from Central Park to literally like 5th and
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was long.
That's like 10 miles.
Us,
it was
LA,
lo- no,
us
it was
LA
long.
guys, I drive to my mailbox. I'm not walking.
I
I'm walking to my
Uber.
mailbox. I'm driving to my mailbox.
Ubering to Domino's, man.
What was it like growing up in New York?
It was really cool, man. It was a predominantly Italian neighborhood.
Okay.
I have a ton of family there. I went to private Catholic school.
Yep.
So that was a big change going from Catholic school, getting dressed every day.
Uh-huh.
I dress like you go to work every day. You know, suit and tie. That's why I fucking hate that stuff now.
Now
Things have
this
changed.
is your work attire now.
I can't do it anymore. And then
By the way,
That's funny.
That's a muscle shirt. That's not his muscles.
and yeah, it was actually really cool, man. A lot of I still talk to a lot of the people that I went to kindergarten with.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Very cool.
And even though, like, over time we built such big bonds. Like we were 10 years old taking the train together
Crazy.
at like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, imagine your boys taking a train.
No,
that
that's not gonna happen.
That's not a thing.
I didn't take the train. I was nervous.
They don't know what a train is,
Yeah.
by the way. So, all right, so transitioning from living the New York lifestyle to suburb Santa Clarita, you said you went to Valencia High School?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was crazy.
Yeah?
It was a lot of learning. I didn't know what avocados were. So like
We just talked about this. I didn't realize
So
that.
not SoCal. How do you not know what an avocado is?
They're
Put
That's
avocado on anything.
I didn't know what a burrito, a taco,
Nothing.
None of that. None of
So
that.
it's a culture shock.
It was crazy.
Okay.
And but I love it. I love it here.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine living anywhere else.
How old were you when you came from New York to here?
I was 15.
Okay, so you had a bunch of friends in New York. That probably
Oh, yeah.
wasn't easy, right?
Had a whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had a girlfriend in New York. It was tough.
It was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get to your exciting passion project business,
Yeah.
let's talk about your day job.
Right.
What do you do with Michael's company?
So we install dedicated home theaters, home automation systems, networking, low voltage, custom integration.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for almost 20 years now.
And you're
Wow.
downplaying that. You're not doing this for like your regular track home, right?
No.
You're doing this for celebrities, people with some
Yeah.
money
Can
in
we
their
name
pocket.
drop a couple people here?
Probably not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, fair.
Try- hey,
He's a
gotta
true
try.
professional.
You know what? Okay.
You would name drop all day.
I'm already name dropping.
So our first client, how we started Michael's company back in 1975, was Clint Eastwood. That
Okay.
was our first residential client.
Very cool.
And then it's just grown from there.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing elaborate projects, right?
Yeah.
You're doing an entire studio in someone's house.
Yeah.
Right? Movie theaters, custom TVs coming out left and right.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
It's fun
yeah.
stuff, man.
Jen and
It's
Ben might be giving you guys a call soon, right?
Nice.
They just closed on a $60 million house. You see that?
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah,
60
they're probably-
million.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
bringing
calling
him.
Michael's company.
For sure calling him. Definitely.
Well, you see, 200 million was Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That's right, in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
200?
what's the commission on like?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
You doing the numbers already?
I'm retiring.
All right, so let's switch gears now. So I've known you. I've been blessed to know you and call you one of my best friends for a long time now,
Long
man.
time, man.
I've seen you develop this concept, this vision, this dream into a reality,
Yeah.
which is called Grit OCR.
Right.
Tell us about the thought process. Tell us about how you made one of your dreams come true.
Yeah. So it was a situation where I wanted a side business. I didn't know what it was going to be. So we started a brand called Grit. And our first run at it was we thought we were going to be a gym. I was going to open up a fitness center to train people for obstacle course racing, strongman comps, a little bit of CrossFit, just a well-rounded gym. And the more I thought about it, I was like, if I'm going to do something, I need to be in it and I need to do it perfect. And I didn't think I could do that while running my day-to-day company. There's just no way. So one day, met some couple that host their own trail races. And I had this offhand conversation. I was like, hey, did you guys ever think about hosting an obstacle course race? And my partner, Jenny, she's crazy. And she was just like, yeah, you and me, we'll do it together.
I've met Jenny.
Jenny is the sweetest, but most insane person
He's
ever.
not lying.
Yeah, she's crazy. But it was an idea that just spawned from there.
Okay.
And then it just started to make sense. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be competition with all of these gyms in Santa Clarita. I'm friends with all of them.
Yep.
So I don't want to create, something where we feel like we're competing for clients.
Right.
I want to bring all of the gyms in Santa Clarita and the Valley and everything together
Yep.
for a day where we can all be in one place. We all, enjoy a time together.
Yeah.
And and then it just kind of evolved from there.
And now you're in your 5th year, 6th year?
6th year.
6th year.
Yeah.
Man, time flies.
Time flies.
I like the word grit because it says so much about what we need to survive, especially
Right.
in today's world. I mean, grit, if you have grit, you already have a head start, right?
It's who you are as a person.
Well, that's what I wanted. So to even host it that first year, and I think you can attest to this because
Yeah.
we were neighbors, it was everyday work, Michael's company, 10 hours.
Yep.
Get home, sit on the couch for a second, and mentally have to have that talk with myself like, all right, I got to go build obstacles for another 3 or 4 hours.
It was crazy to watch him and his desire, his passion, your grit
Yeah.
to accomplish this, that you're one.
Yeah.
Because you were creating these obstacles with your bare hands.
Yeah.
I was calling him Jesus for a little while. He's a carpenter. I'm like, man, this guy is the most. You could pivot hard, dude.
Yeah.
The voice talks that we talked about pivoting hard. That was your hard pivot for you in terms of like going from Michael's company to making your dream come true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Building all these obstacles. What kind of mindset are you in? Like you was talking about 10 hours during your day job and then putting in probably equivalent for at least a few months.
Yeah.
Another 10 hours at Grit.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I think the biggest obstacle is trying to get over yourself and not be worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't very much like if I build it, they will come. It was very much like, can I build it?
Yeah.
Will anybody come? Sure. And I was like,
It was a passion.
yeah.
Right?
And you got to get over that.
Yeah.
And then once you get over that, everything else flows.
Yeah.
So once you start, getting past all of the insecurities and the worry,
Yeah.
and you just focus on the goal,
Yeah.
everything else just falls into place.
Yeah.
Is it limited to Santa Clarita or have you guys expanded?
Right now, it is just because of logistics. I just don't have the bandwidth personally, being able to do something somewhere else. We wanted to,
Yeah.
but it takes a lot. It's a logistical nightmare to host one of these events.
Yeah. No, it's huge. I've seen it from a few hundred people to you're probably approaching several thousand people attending your 2 to 3 day event now.
Yeah, so I think that this year we'll have it's already gained a lot of momentum. We're finally at that teenage stage, I think, as a company,
Okay.
where we're starting to figure ourselves out. Last year was great. COVID definitely, kind of poked a hole in us. We were leaking for a while. but-
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to us about the weather. It is always a joke when we get together.
Yeah, dude.
They're so that you guys have gone so unlucky.
It's so bad.
With the exception of this past year.
This year was great.
Okay, but in years past, you've been so unlucky
Yeah.
with the weather.
Yeah.
Talk to us about working through all that.
So the first year was hard. We started on Monday to start building the Monday before the event, and it rained half that day. And I had this goal in my head, like, hey, we're gonna get 2 obstacles done. By the end of the day, I had a quarter of 1 obstacle done.
Wow.
My truck got caught in a mud pit. Had to tow it out with another car. It was horrible.
I remember
first day.
you had pitched and tent. You were like sleeping on site.
Yeah, dude.
This guy's
the
a real
rainstorm?
deal.
This is like when we had rain.
No.
So
This is a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but so the first year, the weather was actually great. Race day, the race week was not great.
Right.
Second year, it rained all week, and it was so bad. And what's crazy about Santa Clarita is in Valencia, it could be sunny, and in Canyon Country, it could be a hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the day before our second event, Mal calls me. She's at Valencia Mall at Lululemon doing registration, like pre-check-in. And she calls me and she's like, hey, babe, how's it going? And I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, half of our tents are blown away. I'm like, the entire festival is flooded.
Yeah.
All of the obstacles are drenched. And she's like, oh, it's like sunny and 80 degrees here. And then she was only like 10 miles away.
Crazy.
And then third year was actually pretty okay. Fourth year was July. So we hosted in July. And it was like 106 degrees by the time we
Gosh.
sent off our last wave.
People were dropping like flies.
Yeah, dude.
Are you always in similar locations in Santa Clarita?
We've
or do
always
you-
been at the same one. So
Okay.
East Walker Ranch off Placerita Canyon
Okay.
has
yeah.
been our spot, dude. I love that spot so much.
And
It's
how
gonna be
big?
hard.
How big is it? Is it?
So
Like
we have a 5-mile course and an 8-mile course.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
no joke.
I've done the 5 mile.
Have you done it?
I've done it.
I think I
I've
saw
done it a
the
few times.
picture when you
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah. Actually, the voice did
I
it
know. I
with
was
me
gonna
one
say.
year.
I was
voice
saying.
did
Let's ask
year
the
one.
voice. I want to hear
Year-
about.
what year was year 1?
2017.
Okay, so I was trying to figure that out. So that means it was February 17th of 17, because that happens to be my dad's birthday.
Wow.
And I was going through like a big change in my life.
Yeah.
And I had just lost some weight, and I got out there with a team, the group that I was working out with.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for me telling myself that I'm doing this for my dad, I would have quit.
Yeah.
I would have quit. It was that tough, and it was that gritty that, and man, I hugged my kids, my wife, or my son actually, because I didn't have my daughter. But I remember jumping up on the
was like a monkey bar.
The
The monkey bar
Yeah.
at the end,
Yeah.
and both of my calves got instant cramps as
Oh.
soon as I jumped up there. I was in tears, emotionally, physically. It ate me up, but at the same time, that's what we do, right?
That's the goal.
The voice got some grit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
voice
voice
got
has
grit.
some grit.
He's got some grit for sure.
But I had those moments that he had building it,
Yeah.
and I want people to have those moments running it because
I like
those
that.
moments are important.
They're game changing who you really are.
Yeah.
David Goggin type
Exactly.
moments.
Yep.
Yes.
Do they change every year?
New
The
course every year.
So it's always new.
It's
So you're
always
coming
new.
up with a new idea pretty much every
Not
year.
not always the new obstacles. We'll elaborate obstacles, but the course is always different. And this past year was our hardest course we've ever done, and it was great, dude. We got such good reviews. It was
Thank
a
God
great.
I skipped this year.
Yeah.
I'll be back next year.
Let's do it next year.
Where do you get your inspiration for all the obstacles you're building?
So like this year, one of the best things I think that we did was at the end of the race, you could see the finish line coming, right? You're coming down this huge hill and you see the finish line, the last obstacle. You get down this huge hill and there's an arrow pointing right. And all of a sudden you're going on a 1 mile excursion with a backpack when you thought you were done. And that's kind of like business, right?
Yeah.
And everything in life.
Like
Like
it.
you think you're almost done and then something throws a turn and it's how you handle that,
then
right?
life gets in the way.
Then life
Yeah.
gets in the way, dude.
How you
And-
pivot.
You're not done. The hell you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get back over here.
and that's the inspiration.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
also, like when you pair obstacles together, like the first year, it was like, all right, we're going to go uphill with a backpack. We're going to go carry a sandbag. We're going to go crawl. And it's just back to back to back. And it's a lot like life, dude. It's like taking your kids to softball
No.
and then getting home and then the dog's sick. And then, you then the water heater breaks and you just got to do
Clients
it
are
one.
calling you.
So
Your
it's,
wife's hungry or something.
yeah, dude.
Speaking of wives, you get the opportunity. Answer this question carefully. Okay, she's my favorite Alletto, by the way. Okay, what is it like to work with your wife with grit?
It has been an incredible experience to be able to share that journey with somebody else.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's brought us closer as people. I think it's brought us, we've grown a lot from it.
Yep.
And it is a true testament when you can get through something that stressful that you guys are a real team.
I love it.
Like that's
Now,
huge.
just make sure I said you're my favorite Alletto. Okay, just making sure.
I mean, anytime you could do something passionate with someone you love.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, you
It's
can't
huge.
quantify that into words.
There's
right?
always a moment at the end of the day where we look at each other and we just give each other a nod, like we
I
did
got
it. We did it. We did it. And those moments are incredible, dude.
Yeah. All right, that's awesome.
Does the voice think I can fulfill or complete one of these courses?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're giving a lot of credit.
A lot of love today. I
Yeah,
like it.
a lot
You heard
of love
that.
from
You
the
heard that
voice.
Henry did it, right?
I like him. I like him.
I've done it several times, by the way. On the topic of the voice, let's hear from you. This question is going to be geared towards either myself or to Antonio, or maybe both of us can answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to you. I'm gonna throw it back to you. But so we're June right now, end of the first half of the year. I want to talk about something that you've implemented or you've been doing in that first half of the year, whether it be a daily routine, a morning routine, or something to do with your business that you're going to continue to implement for the rest of the year because it's been working for you.
So for me, I've got some inspiration from one of your favorite people, Andy Frisella. So I'm using his notebook to be proactively planning the day that is ahead of me. And that's been a game changer for me to really identify the most important things that I have to get done, like the non-negotiables versus your laundry list. Because you can get totally lost in your 30 things you have to do, but when you pick apart the 4 or 5 things that have to get done today, that's a game changer. So I will continue to do that. And then I hate reading. I'm more of a Spark Notes type of guy, but I'm making myself read. So I'm going to continue to read at least 5 pages every single day. I'll probably continue doing that for the rest of my life.
Love that.
I'm more of an Audible guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah.
Audibles, yeah. You kind of, the voice got me onto Audibles a little bit.
Good, man.
I'm actually weird. I don't like Audible. So I prefer to read, even though I don't like reading. But I just have to find the right books for me. So,
I probably read 3 books in my life.
like in your entire life.
Probably. One of them was A Child Called It.
Let's hear from Antonio
For what?
on that question.
On that same
Yeah.
topic. God. So I've been prioritizing myself in the mornings,
Okay.
and it's made my day a lot more enjoyable.
Okay.
So I usually wake up and I would go straight into work. So now in the mornings I wake up and I take like an hour. Either I go to the gym or I take it at home, Like just, hey, I'm gonna have some coffee. I'm gonna sit on the couch. I'm not gonna start my day in this cyclone.
Yep.
I'm gonna start chill and I'm gonna ease into it. And it's made me a lot happier throughout the day.
No phones, no emails.
Yeah,
the morning
nothing.
is you own your morning.
Yeah, 5 a.m. Wake up and I'm like, okay, in the next hour.
5 a.m.er. Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
You gotta try it, bro.
I can do 6. 5's a little.
I'm
rough.
6 a.m.er.
Yeah, 6 a.m. for sure. I'm up.
5 a.m. is rough.
Yeah, it's a little
Oh,
tough. But
you know, voice. I'm a night owl. I go to sleep
Yeah.
12:30 regularly. To wake up at 5, it will be tough.
Yeah.
But 6 is good.
No, 8 hours is important, dude.
to what Antonio said, though, the mornings are very important, right? I reiterate what you said. Like, when you get your morning down, I feel like the rest of the day
Flows better.
flows better.
Yeah.
If you
know?
read some more books, you would read it in about
Wow.
5 or 6 of the most popular books out there right now, talking about your morning routine.
Yeah.
It's very important to the success level that you're trying to reach, is by making sure that you're hitting all those.
I figure you
Most
read it,
important things.
you let me know,
I got
and then
you.
I implement it.
I got
We're
you.
friends.
I got you.
That's how we roll here.
Absolutely.
Antonio, you've been amongst one of my best friends for a long time. We've had trips. One of my favorite trips is to Cabo. Remember that one time we wore the same shorts? And I had the 5-inch seam, you had the longer ones. Oh,
I
man.
thought we weren't going to disclose
I
this
never
on here.
want to compete against this guy. Shirtless in Cabo with these board shorts.
Oh,
we were
wow.
the same exact ones.
You were
we-
shirtless and he was shirtless?
We both were
Oh,
shirtless,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
Can we get that picture for
I
like
know.
the YouTube,
Please.
the YouTube version of this
Please. Yeah.
podcast?
Did you enjoy that trip?
I did. I actually enjoyed every time that we've ever hung out, dude. Like, we have grown together as people.
Yep. Business owners.
Our kids have grown
Yeah.
together. Like, these are the relationships that I think are so important, dude.
100%.
And it takes grit to be friends with people too, right?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
bro, there's been times I've looked at you like, I'm gonna strangle you
Yeah.
right now.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, I didn't know people love you so much. Like, jeez Louise, man.
I got some real relationships,
Wow.
Eddie.
Yeah, dude.
We're getting
Yeah.
there, though,
Yeah.
baby.
You don't love Henry until you strangle him.
Touche. You touched on the point in terms of kids. So
Yeah.
that's one of the topics that I wanted to make sure that we brought up is raising young men in today's world.
Yep.
Loaded question. What are you doing? You have two yourself,
Yeah.
two young boys, plus you're also mentoring, training, kicking their butt, your football team.
Yeah.
With the Spartans. Tell me what all that is like.
Yeah. So that's been something where my wife approached me and was like, I think you should be a coach.
You're not busy enough, Antonio.
Yeah. I don't think you're doing enough.
What are you doing all day long?
And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I played football for, half a season and I was terrible. I'm not going to,
Ryan played college, believe it or not.
Ryan Welker. Ryan Welker over here, everybody.
I mean, I love the game. I love the sport. But I was like, I don't really have anything to give these kids.
Uh-huh.
And then as I thought about it, I was like, hey, it's 2 hours of uninterrupted time with my kid every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that became more important to me than anything else.
Yeah.
So then I get in there and I watch these kids do push-ups and run, and I'm like, okay, now I could figure this out.
Let me create the obstacle course for that.
yeah.
For sure.
So
He posted stuff on Instagram. I
Does he?
said, poor kids.
we've had some dark moments together.
Yeah.
dude.
Are they still running up that big hill?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With sandbags.
Yeah.
Burpees all the way up.
Yeah.
The
so
Saugus Hill, right?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
It's
And
tough.
Rough.
there's not a lot of people that'll impose that on 11 and 12-year-olds
Yeah.
because they don't think that they can.
Yeah.
Those kids are more men than some men I know.
Man.
And it's crazy. Like they are so strong and so resilient. And seeing them grow up has been a big thing for me because I've seen things that I've been able to implement into their lives and how they've taken it and ran with it in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And showing men that suffering, shared suffering especially, whether it's physical or you're starting a business together, like you guys are starting this together, there's shared suffering in all this, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys have moments together where you're like, this sucks, probably.
A little bit.
Yeah. But that makes you guys
Being
stronger.
Ryan's co-host, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That makes you guys stronger
Yeah.
business partners.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And we do it on the other end where it's just like, all right, we're doing 100 burpees as a team together
Ugh.
in 105-degree heat. And then we're going to go run a mile. And not a lot
Oh,
of...
you weren't done after 100 burpees?
No,
Yeah,
bro,
wow.
never done.
Ugh.
Never done. And this year it showed last year on the field where in the fourth quarter, our linemen were still upright and not breathing heavy. And all of the other teams
We're gassed.
were gassed and they couldn't go.
Yeah.
So there's the physical aspect of it, but it also shows like these kids are always keeping their composure too.
Yeah.
And they're not throwing punches on the field because they get all of that out at practice.
Yep.
So they're not going and just punching some kid in the helmet because they get pissed off.
Right.
All of that aggression's already gone. And I feel the same way about myself. Like somebody rear ends me on the freeway. I get out, I'm like, dude, are you okay? I'm not going crazy because I already let all my aggression out at the gym.
Well, they see you and they're like, we're not going crazy on this guy.
Yeah. I'm not even getting out of the car. I'm not even getting out of the car.
You hit somebody, they're asking you if you're okay, Antonio.
I just go pull the dent out.
I like what you said about. what he said about mental toughness.
Yeah.
Right. Because this generation, do you feel it lacks a little bit mental toughness?
Yeah. So this year we've combined 2 teams together.
Okay.
And we're training on Saturdays with another team at our division. They're not going to be on our team, but just another one. And I've met all these kids, and I look at all of them, and I'm like, someone has done a disservice to you along your lifetime because you don't have it.
Yeah.
You know, immediately when things get hard, you tap out.
You're having these tough conversations with 11, 12-year-olds.
We've been having those conversations with these kids since they were 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could tell when a kid has it or they don't.
Yeah.
Right? Like if the kid is struggling, but he keeps moving, that's a testament to the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because that's what life is, right? You struggle and you keep moving.
Yeah.
And mental toughness is one of the biggest things that I want to impose like on my kid. Like the other day, Mal calls me and goes, Gavin has a headache. We're going to keep him home from practice. I'm like, when I get home, that kid's going to run
No.
2.5 miles
Wrong
outside.
ask. Wrong ask.
But that's the thing is that I want to teach him that I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you're tired. You made a commitment to something. You got to do it.
I like that.
I like it too.
I like that a lot.
And that's huge.
You made a commitment.
The thing I love
See it
about
through.
this, I was gonna say, the thing I love about sports is it teaches them lessons that sometimes it's hard for us to get across.
Yeah.
Right. I struggle with that with my son, and that's kind of how my brand was born, through coaching with my son and kind of giving those life lessons through sports.
Right.
You know.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I think every kid should play a sport. I think especially young boys, all young boys should play a sport and put themselves in a position where they have to perform for someone else.
Yeah.
And make sure that they're part of a team and that they're carrying their weight. That's huge.
And dude, you are making such an impact in this world through your work with these young men.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Voice, you have a son as well. Guillermo, he's going to love Uncle HR right now for giving him a shout out. Guillermo. You're having those same conversations about if you commit to something, you have to execute. From your perspective, can you share those conversations you're having with your son?
Oh man, yeah, I could go for days on this topic, but kudos to you in coaching and what you're giving your kid. I know from me, not to get too personal, but I left my son's mother when he was 4 years old. So it was myself and Guillermo growing up together. I was still a kid. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had my road dog. Like, he went everywhere with me, everywhere. And he actually is become where he's very comfortable with my friends because he's used to communicating to them. He wasn't hanging out with kids his own age because I had him going out with me. I mean, if I was going out, Guillermo was going out, right? So it hasn't been till probably like more recently. I would go with 11, 12 years old. He's 14 now. That I had to flip the switch and no longer become his friend anymore, and I had to become his father. And that was a very hard time for the two of us. We butted heads a lot. He didn't understand it, and I had to explain it. I lost my dad when I was 21 years old, and the way that I got it across to him was telling him, in my eyes, I only got 7 more years with you, dude, and we fell behind, and you're gonna be a toughest, baddest kid, and you're gonna change the world, man. Yeah. You're one of the most special kids that I've ever met in my life, and I'm not just saying that because he's mine. He has the heart of gold, and he's gonna do big things.
And he has the gift of gab.
Definitely.
Don't know
He's
where he
definitely
gets
a
it
mini
from.
voice.
Yeah, I
He's
wonder where he
definitely
gets
a
that
mini voice.
from.
Yeah, for sure.
Ryan, you've raised a grown man now.
Yeah,
Logan
close.
is
19.
he's a grown man.
Yeah, it's close.
What were your conversations with him like early on?
Similar to Christian, I was younger when I had my son, and I separated from his mom when I was younger, so he went with me everywhere as well. And in the beginning, it was a balance of trying to stay as his father and his friend, right? Because, so what I did is I just indulged myself in coaching. That's why I kind of love Antonio's story, where I just coached, and I was able to spend time with him and kind of teach him lessons. And through that, our relationship just evolved. And now he's 19, and it's a different relationship. I'm getting used to it, right? Like it's easier said than done when your son is getting older because you still want that connection, which we have. But sometimes I feel like I'm bugging him a little bit. Yeah. So I got to kind of let him go a little bit.
It's certainly a unique thing that all 4 of us are going through, raising young men. I have a 10-year-old, and maybe you guys can help me with some advice. Having the conversation, the bird and bees conversation, that's coming up.
Yep.
Have you guys already had that conversation? What did that look like?
I think my son had it with me.
What were his talking points, Ryan?
We'll go to the voice on this
Yeah.
one.
Oh wow! Wow!
No one wants to give me any advice.
Wow! And you know what? You honestly, you want to just keep the communication line open.
Yeah.
I get that.
And they're gonna talk to you if they're comfortable with talking to you. So you better make sure that that you're able to be communicated with. And for Jacob, I actually. We jumped in a car at the beginning of this year, and we worked together on Saturdays for 4 hours a day, and that's when I had it in my head that we were going to have these conversations, and it just kind of happens more naturally, and just so that they know, dude, you the boss, but you ain't the boss, and you got to take care of your stuff, or Yeah, it could be a long road for you, man, and that's not what we want. Come to dad. If you're gonna be embarrassed going to the drugstore and buying condoms, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about this. Let's be smart about it. It's going to happen. Hormones are crazy. I remember 14 years old. I remember going to school and being like, what the hell is going on? Right? So we got to just prepare them and be able to be communicated with, right? They should not be in trouble for what they're feeling.
For sure.
Especially in a world of Me Too movement, they have to be careful.
Yeah.
It's different than our world.
100%.
I think that's the conversation that I've been having with my son, even at 19. Like, be smart.
Yeah.
Right? Don't put yourself in these positions where anything could happen.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. I mean, the conversation of just using a condom is a lot less expensive than the alternative, right? So having that conversation early on, like I said, my Jaden just turned 10, and we were at this past weekend's baseball tournament, and we're after playing 3 games. And again, I got little guys, right? I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about much in terms of real life. But he got in the car, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
what is that smell?
Oh yeah.
And I looked over, I'm like, Jane, is that you? So I got out of the car. Yeah, sure. He had BO, but he's 10 years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't wear deodorant yet. So I had to have a conversation like, hey, son, you're 10 years old now. Your body's going to be changing. Things like this are going to happen. And then he starts talking about the voice. He goes, yeah, your voice will change, get deeper like dad's. So you have to make sure, that when you get in the shower, that you're washing all your body parts correctly, and we're gonna have to get you deodorant. So it was my first experience in having real life man-to-man conversation with my little man, which I still see him as a baby, right?
Yeah.
So.
You're gonna have to tell them every day to put that deodorant on.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
the hard part.
conversation, that conversation just got started.
Really? Is that happening with Gavin?
Oh, so Gavin will leave his gloves from football in my car. I don't know if you remember how bad football gloves smell. I get so mad. Dude.
Oh my
Horrible.
god!
And then his cleats smell like it's so bad, dude. It gets way worse.
It gets
I think
worse.
the kids smell worse
great.
now than they did when we were young.
Oh my
I don't know what
goodness.
it is, man.
Yeah.
It's in the water.
But yeah, I think all 4 of you guys would agree that it's a unique world, a unique society, and we're doing a tough task, a tough job in raising young men in today's world.
I'd rather raise a son that would go to war in 1942 than raise a kid that has to go into the workforce in 2030.
That's actually a great analogy. I like that, actually.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's gonna be tough.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. But you know what? Sounds like we're all in the right mindset. Obviously, for sure, you are.
Yeah.
Dude, keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks,
with Michael's company, with Greg, you're doing an amazing job. I love you, brother. Explain to me into the world, though. I'm going to change completely directions here. The infatuation with Michael Myers. I remember when we first met, I walked into your house and you were literally burning a candle with Michael Myers' face on
Is
it.
it Jesus Michael Myers?
Yeah. What's up with it, dude?
All right. So, not a lot of people look at it this way, and it's hard to look at if you don't know the series or don't know the character.
Yep.
But I think I admire him in the fact that he has extreme focus on what he wants.
You admire Michael
I do.
Myers.
I do.
Okay.
He is focused.
He's laser focused
He's laser
on one
focused.
goal.
He don't blink an eye.
No. So that, like in the beginning of the movie, he doesn't talk for 30 years.
You're serious
in a-
about this
I am
right now.
dead
He's
serious
looking
about
me
this.
dead
I kinda
in
like
the eye.
I'm dead serious about
Okay.
this. So in the beginning of the movie, he doesn't talk for 30 years,
Okay.
right? And then he sees an opportunity one night
Uh-huh.
to get out. So he seizes that one opportunity, but it took him 30 years to get there.
Sounds
so
like
that's,
Eminem.
that's delayed gratification, right? And that's a huge
Commitment.
Yeah.
it's commitment. And he didn't speak a word for 30 years. So he's able to live inside of his head. And I think living inside of your head is also something that's really important.
Okay.
Being able to talk to yourself,
Yeah.
right? And then super strong, right? And I think that strength comes from determination.
Okay.
You know, there's no there's no mysticism with that whole story, right? Like he's just a normal dude that decided that he wanted to kill his sister.
Just a normal dude.
I don't know if he's normal.
But
I love how you made Michael Myers into like a superhero.
he
Voice,
kinda
what do you
is,
think
dude.
about
Pretty
this?
solid.
We need some feedback from the voice here.
I mean, I've seen Michael Myers. I do not know the story, but you just knowing that story and being able to tell it like that.
Yeah.
And he's
tell-
relentless.
Tell me
Yeah.
more.
He is
Tell me
relentless.
more.
He's relentless.
Gets knocked down and he gets back up.
Okay.
Right? So he'll get shot 6 times, brush it off, get back up. And that's something that I also like.
Oh, 50 Cent did the same thing, you know? We're putting him at the same level?
And Tupac.
All of them, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Shout
All
out to Tupac who just got his
My-
star on the Hall of Fame.
You did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
My last question for you. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
Halloween, dude.
No, but which one? There's like 19 of them.
Oh, the original, first one.
The OG. The OG.
OG first one.
1970 something or 80?
1972.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the OG one.
That's the OG
Okay.
one, dude.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh,
I saw it.
It's
Yeah.
great.
I like Halloween. It's
Halloween's
a good.
great
Out of
one,
all
dude.
of them, I used to be a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I always
Yeah.
thought the first Nightmare on Elm Street was really, really good. But Michael Myers, man, he's kind of scary.
And what about the last two? Yeah.
The last, so it was a trilogy. The first one was legit.
Uh-huh.
I ended up actually working for the director,
How cool.
which was cool,
Okay.
right? And then like it was right after the first one, and I wanted to go up to him and say, "Hey, great! Like I really enjoyed the movie."
But you couldn't.
And then
He's the
just
most
a
honest
professional.
person you
Keep
know.
it
He's the
professional.
most honest person
Yeah.
you'll ever meet.
and then the second movie came out, and I actually had an opportunity to go talk to him, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That was dog shit.
Was the first one when he was in the insane
Straight to the
asylum?
director.
The insane asylum, right? I actually like that
Oh,
one.
how
That was
funny.
a good one. That was a good one.
All right, Brother Alletto. Thank you so much for coming on to our Elite podcast, man.
Thank you guys
That was
for having me.
Meant a lot to me. Sign us off, did he?
Wow, episode
6.
6. I can't believe it. So it's been awesome. It's been a run, and we're just getting started.
And we're going to keep it going for sure.
We're officially out.
Elite podcast, episode 6. We're out. Thanks, guys.